I don't know, maybe giving back a little bit to the community. I enjoy it. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy helping people, and it's very satisfying to say, you know, that, I don't know, that we're helping people, that we're giving the community people some help. And because a lot of these people, if we and a lot of other people didn't help them, they would be, you know, who knows what would happen to them. And who knows what happens to people when they get hungry. Would they do wrong things, you know, or would they starve to death? Or would they be sleeping on the street? Or, you know, who knows what they would do. So between us and many other churches and organizations in Welland, you have the Open Arms Mission, you have the Hope Center, you have the Salvation Army, and then you have St. Kevin's Church, Wesley Church, Pelham Center, Central United, All People's Church. They're all involved in this. Plus, a place like the Tribune, they go to the Hope Center once or twice a month, and they cook a lunch. And there's other businesses that go to different areas. Open Arms Mission, the Blue Star donates food to them quite often. Soup, leftover soup every day, they send there. Other organizations or small businesses will come into the Open Arms Mission on a Saturday and make a lunch. Or other people will say, okay, here's $200, you buy everything you need to put on lunch today. So it's all through volunteers and donations. There's the Hope Center, they all do have an executive director, but the rest of the people are basically volunteers. So, you know, people go to Open Arms Mission and they work 2 or 3 mornings a week filling grocery bags, giving them to people that go there and pick up groceries. The Hope Center also does that. There's a lot of volunteers in Welland that do a lot for the community.
Has it changed since being with the Harvest Kitchen? Has it changed the way you look, like have your outlook on people and the world?
Well, you know, the thing is, you know, you can see somebody pull up in a nice car, and you say, you know, like, geez, they drive a nicer car than I do. What are they doing here? But you don't know their circumstances. Maybe they do work. Maybe they have a job. And they need the vehicle to get back and forth to work. So that's why they got a car. It's not their fault they have a newer car, because maybe they had a good job before and then they lost it. But they need a car to go to work, so they keep it. But you don't know. Maybe they don't make enough money to pay the rent, pay the hydro bill, and buy groceries. So they pay the rent, pay the bills, and they depend on help from the community to get some food. So they go to the Open Arms Mission or the Hope Center or the Salvation Army and they get groceries. But groceries once a month or twice a month does not last them the whole month. So then they depend on other community sources, churches mainly, organizations that will feed them. And that is what Harvest Kitchen does. It's very big. And you know, we have, when we have something at church, White Gift Sunday, we get everybody to bring in groceries, and then we fill 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, whatever boxes, and we take it to the Hope Center one time, and the next time for the to the Open Arms Mission. If somebody in our church is having an anniversary party and they use the church, in lieu of gifts, we get them to bring in groceries. So we get 4 or 5 people bring in cases of Kraft Dinner or cases of soup, and then we take it to the mission or to the Hope Center or to the Salvation Army. I used to get apples donated from a farmer out in Don Tolmy, and I would distribute them to the Hope Center every summer. The Hope Center, the Open Arms Mission, and Salvation Army, and I would get 100 bushels of apples through the course of the fall, and I would 2 or 3 times I would go and get a truckload and distribute them. We collect furniture for some people, especially for refugees. But if somebody comes to our church and is in need of something, we ask for it at the church, and a lot of times we get it. sometimes we get donations from other churches because they know that we do this.
The next question says, tell us about other services involved in the church, like for these people, but you've pretty much covered a lot of them.
We have new organizations. There's an organization, I forget what it's called now, but it's for new families to Canada, and they have a women's night where all the women come in and they have a meeting, they have a supper. We had Gateway, which is an apartment complex for mentally challenged people, and we had an open house for them, and we fed them, and then we invite them out to our church, and there is a couple fellows from there that come out on a regular basis now, and they also contribute, they also help. I don't know if he was there that night. What's his name? A big boy. I know it's Stan. Stan came out from Gateway, and he comes out and he does dishes and he helps serve and whatever. But he's you know, and it's because we open the church to them that these people come out. Now, we haven't had a lot of them come out from there, but who knows what's going to happen in the future? Maybe they will start coming out. So it's hard to judge, but it's just something that everybody is comfortable with. Now, there's probably a lot of people in our church that have never seen it, and they don't know what we do, but there's a lot of, I would probably say there's 50 people from our church involved, at least, in doing this. And the same goes with other churches. You go to St. Kevin's on, Wednesday nights, I think they put on a meal, and it's, there's 30, 40 people there working, and they, you know, by the time you get the meal prepared, the table set up, everything served and cleaned up, you've involved anywhere from 20 to 40 people, because it is a big job. You're feeding anywhere from 70 to 100 people each meal, and I know the other churches are doing about the same numbers. So you know, if it wasn't for organizations and churches like this, some of these people would not be getting, you know, 3 or 4 good meals a week.
Okay. What can people do if they want to get involved?
They call the church, or they talk to somebody on the outreach committee. Marnie Swayze is our director of Harvest Kitchen at our church, and she you would talk to her, and then she would say, okay, what we do is we bring them out when Central is cooking to let them see, and then if they want to keep doing this, then we contact the other churches and say, we have people that want to work too. But sometimes these other churches have their own volunteers. Pelham Center, last time they were there, they had